Seattle police say a woman in her 80s was carjacked and run over with her own car. They say it happened around 10 this morning, and now the hunt is on for that suspect. Thank you for joining us for the news at 6. I'm Sabir Rayford.
And I'm David Rose. Neighbors tried to save her life, but she died right there in the street. Fox 13's Frankie Thompson joining us where this sickening incident happened for the very latest. Frankie?
So many people in the Madison Valley neighborhood are stunned to hear what happened in their quiet neighborhood. Behind me, you can see people are leaving memorial flowers and cards, sharing their regards about this loss. We're near the intersection of MLK Way and Harrison, where Seattle police reopened the street after shutting it down for hours to investigate this deadly carjacking. On the other side of the police tape, detectives investigate a crime so horrific, neighbors say they are in shock.
That's absolutely terrifying. I mean, that's somebody's grandmama.
Just before 10 a.m., Seattle police received calls for help in this Madison Valley neighborhood. Police say a woman in her 80s, who was a local dog walker, was with at least 2 dogs when a man attempted to steal her car.
During that struggle and that altercation, the woman was believed to be dragged by her vehicle during the carjacking, and she was mortally wounded during that incident.
Police say at least 2 people saw the whole thing and tried to intervene. When the suspect hit the woman with her car and drove away, officials say the bystanders immediately began CPR, hoping to save her life, but it wasn't enough.
With the bystanders that intervened, that takes a lot of courage and a lot of bravery to try to prevent something like this from happening. It's very scary, it's very difficult.
Imagine that too, like you have to live with that imagery for the rest of your life, thinking that you could have done more or done better. Like that, it's sad.
For 5 years, Alexis Robinson has owned a salon across the street from the crime scene. She says lately her sense of security has been changing in this area, especially now knowing the homicide suspect is on the run.
It should never happen, obviously, but you know, it doesn't bode well. I don't feel safe. I don't feel comfortable. I'm looking over my shoulder.
Neighbors were able to give detectives detailed descriptions of the woman's car and what the suspect looks like, but officials say detectives aren't revealing those details to preserve their investigation.
It's paramount to the investigation that we find that vehicle first. We are actively searching for him. Every officer in the city has been updated about the vehicle description and the suspect description.
Police say detectives are investigating all leads. Who is this woman who lost her life? Who is the suspect and why did he go after the local dog owner? All questions they hope to answer on the other side of the crime tape.
This is a very difficult and very traumatic scene for everybody involved.
And police just found that stolen vehicle miles away from where the carjacking happened.
Fox 13's Jennifer Dowling is live in Seattle's Hillman City neighborhood. What do you know right now, Jen?
We're close to the Brighton playfield where the small SUV that we believed was involved in the carjacking was just towed away by Seattle police just about 15 minutes ago. They were investigating that car for a couple hours. This whole area was taped off, and there is still an active investigation scene behind me. I'm going to step out of the way. You can see there's some trees out there. Well, near one of those big trees, there is a blue recycle bin, and that is where many of those investigators have been taking pictures and examining the evidence there. We learned from a neighbor that a deceased dog was found in or around that blue recycle bin, and this is near Brighton Playfield. Investigators have been focusing part of the investigation here for a couple hours now, and it looked like there was support from investigators from the Seattle Shelter or Animal Control out here helping to gather evidence. Seattle police say officers found that stolen SUV abandoned, no sign of the suspect. Homicide detectives, again, are processing the scene here as well as in the Madison Valley area. I also talked to a woman who saw the carjacking take place earlier in that Madison Valley neighborhood. She told me she thought she heard a commotion, like screaming, around the time that car was stolen. She said she ran out and saw that a plumber who happened to have a baseball bat in his vehicle pulled out the bat and tried to stop the carjacker by smashing the windows of that stolen vehicle, including the back window, which she said allowed some dogs to jump out and escape. That witness said the car, again, was full of dogs at the time, including with what looked like a corgi, she said, and a couple doodles. We talked to another neighbor who had heard there could be animals on the loose and was doing her part by canvassing that Madison Valley neighborhood, looking for lost pets with some of the leashes that she uses on her own dogs and some dog treats. So neighbors trying to step in and help locate any lost dogs that might still be on the loose. But back out here in this neighborhood near the Brighton playfield, a sad situation. Neighbors really devastated that a woman was killed, and also dogs may have been killed in this incident as well. They call it senseless and devastating, and they hope that that person is found. We have no word that the suspect has been located at this time, but police tell us they are definitely on the hunt. Reporting live in Seattle, Jennifer Dowling, Fox 13 News.